everybody, time for an update. It is Wednesday, February 13th, and before I get into the market, which is doing very well by the way, as I said it would, I want to make some comments about the MMT concepts I talked about in my last video. There were comments posted up here on this channel, and I want to speak to really one thing that I said in there, which was I'm very happy to finally see this ridiculous question: how are we going to pay for it when it comes to like these big programs like Medicare for All or a Green New Deal? People always, how are you going to pay for it? I said I am very happy to finally see this question justly and correctly mocked and derided. And a lot of people here, they took issue with that. They posted up comments. They said, oh, well, I guess you're okay with printing all that money, or, you know, yeah, why don't we just give everybody a gazillion dollars? Now, I really can't blame you or make too much fun of you, because I know that most of you and the vast majority of people out there, you have been indoctrinated into a false way of thinking, and the evidence of that is very clear because you post up really inapplicable comparisons. You say things like, oh, we're just going to become the next Weimar Germany or the next Zimbabwe or the next Venezuela. Now, those analogies are not applicable to our situation, and I went into that a little bit with some comments that I posted up, some replies, but that would require a whole other video, and maybe I'll take some time to make that video at some point. But those comparisons, Weimar Germany and Zimbabwe and all that stuff, that just does not apply for many reasons. But when you say things, and again, I can't really criticize you that much because you've been indoctrinated into this way of thinking. But when you say something like, oh, I guess you're okay with printing all that money, and again, that's you're saying it, you're stating it in a very sarcastic fashion. What you're really saying is that's not okay. That's bad what you're saying, Mike. We can't do that. What you're actually saying, all right, when you say something like that, is I'm okay with crumbling infrastructure. I'm okay with 30 million people not having adequate health care. I'm okay with not having a sufficient level of investment in basic science and research. I'm okay with the degradation of the environment. I'm okay with a lack of all those things. I'm okay with lack. That's what you're saying. When you're saying don't spend that money, which is infinite. What is that money? How does the government spend? They push buttons on a keyboard. It's basically electrons. It's an accounting system. There's no limit to that. But when you say, no, we cannot do that, what you are actually saying, and you don't realize that you're saying this, is I'm okay with crumbling infrastructure. I'm okay with a lack of adequate education. I'm okay with 30 million people not having adequate health care. I'm okay with having insufficient amounts of investment in basic science and research. I'm okay with the degradation of the environment that we have to live in on this planet. I'm okay with lack. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not okay with lack, especially in a world of abundance. That's right, folks. We live in a world of abundance. There's an abundant supply of labor, and I'm not just talking about the United States, because right now we're really talking about the whole global economy. We're all interconnected. We can tap into labor in other parts of the world. We can tap into production facilities in the other parts of the world. We've been doing that for 30, 40 years. We can tap into innovation that comes from elsewhere. We are living in a world of abundance, and we choose lack because we're trying to hold on to these infinite amount of electrons that we're afraid to quote unquote spend. Now, you all can say that. That's fine. I'm okay with lack. And that speaks to who you are as a person. You do not probably deem yourself worthy of having good things, or you are afraid. You know, there's such a thing as a fear of success. And a lot of you suffer from that, and I see that just from how you behave in the markets. Fear of success, you sabotage yourself. But when you say let's just print all this money in that sarcastic fashion, which really means we can't do that. You're actually saying, I'm okay with lack. I'm not okay with lack, especially when the ability to tap into that abundance is sitting right there in unlimited fashion. Now, let me say this. If we were living in a situation where there was no abundance, where there was no more labor, where there was no more resources, where there was no more brain power and innovation, all that stuff was tapped out, we have utilized it to the 100% to the maximum, then yes, there would be nothing we can do to improve our situation. Money or no money, there would be nothing we could do to improve our situation. But we're not in that situation. We're living in abundance, and all of you who make that statement, you're uneducated, you're ill-informed, but more importantly, you are okay with lack in your own lives. I'm not, and I will never settle for that. All right, now let's get to the mark. By the way, if you start thinking like that, you will change your life. Your life will go from lack to abundance. It will go from darkness to light. It will go from uneducated to educated. It will go from ill-informed to informed. It will go from lack of knowledge to knowledge. All right, let's talk about the market. Market's up. The entire November, December decline. And if you go back and watch my videos, I was pounding the table at that time to buy the market. I said, you gotta buy. Folks, I've been doing this for a long time, 40 years. I was down on the floor with the 1987 stock market crash. I saw panic. I was obviously around in 2007, 2009 in the great financial crash. And that was really something. The whole entire financial system froze up. The Fed didn't know what to do at that time. It has learned since, but it didn't know what to do. The government was paralyzed. We had a Treasury Secretary, Hank Paulson, who went home and got on his knees and prayed. There was the master of the universe, the chairman of Goldman Sachs, the most powerful Wall Street firm, had no idea what to do. We're not in that situation, and we weren't in that situation in November, December. I said, you gotta buy. I said, you gotta buy. It was a crazy, ridiculous, emotional sell-off. I lost many subscribers, all of whom I'm sure lost money. Excuse me, but I had some who stuck. And I had some not only who just stuck, they really surprised me. I had guys emailing me many times a day. Mike, I'm scared. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm scared. But they stuck it out. You know what? It's okay to be scared. It's okay to be scared. Courage means being afraid and doing it anyway. I had one guy emailing me crying. 5 times a day emailing me crying. Oh, you told me to buy and it kept on going down. You told me to buy. Folks, perfection is the destroyer of performance. Perfection is the destroyer of performance. Perfection, let me say it another way. Perfection is the destroyer of success. If you are looking for perfection, you will never take action. You will never take action. You will not only miss out on trades and opportunities, you will miss out on life. Life requires action. Success requires action. We're never going to get the absolute bottom, just as we're never going to get the absolute top. But that is not necessary. All of that has been removed from what I do now. We had the biggest January in 30 years up. The market is on the path to retaking its all-time highs, and it's going to go beyond that, believe me. Now, along the way, there's going to be fits and starts. It's going to pull back. It's going to do this. It's going to do that. But what I do, and again, let me say this again, because I've said it many times, and I think a lot of you don't understand. What I do is totally unique. I have taken the concepts of MMT, and listen, MMT is out there right now. Everybody's talking about it. It's blowing up all over the place. I've been talking about MMT for 18 years. When I used to be on Fox News, I was talking about it and I got mocked and derided for it, but I was talking about it way before anybody else. But I've taken the concepts of MMT and I've combined that with trading strategy and mental game. And those who have stuck with me, and I could tell you this without even asking them, but I'm sure they would all say this, that the thing that all of them have taken from me, the most valuable thing that they have taken from me, is this concept of mental game, of mental toughness, of resilience, of being able to handle their own emotions, which are triggered by these market swings. Everybody else, and certainly the ones who left, are on an endless, futile search for the system fairy, believing there's something out there that's going to make it happen for them without any input from their part. Good luck to those people. Anyway, it's all good, folks. It's all good. Going to continue doing. Remember, my report goes up to $250 a month starting on March 1st. Somebody said it's a ripoff. Let me tell you something. It should be $1,200 a month. Okay? There's nothing out there compared to what I do. And the mental game aspect alone, the coaching that I give, is worth multiples of what this monthly cost is. You could lock in the $195 rate by going down to my website, pitbulleconomics.com, and signing up for a 30-day free trial. Have a great day. Bye-bye.